Welcome to the Brainiate Show, where we talk about all things Salesforce, sharing the coolest features, solutions, and best practices to turn you into a Salesforce rock star. Here's your host, former attorney turned Salesforce consultant and trainer, David Giller.
Hello and happy Tuesday to all of you. I hope you are all doing well. I am really excited for today's show because today I am going to be sharing with you one of my favorite behind the scenes tools that I use on a very regular basis. So for those of you who have never joined the show before, I just want to welcome you. My name is David Giller. If you haven't met me before, I am a Salesforce trainer and consultant based in the New York City area, and I love sharing best practices and tips for everyone in the Salesforce community, whether you're a Salesforce admin, developer, project manager, etc. And in today's show, we're going to be focusing specifically on how to supercharge your communication skills with artificial intelligence. And this might sound a little bit bizarre to many of you because most of us in the Salesforce community think of artificial intelligence as being synonymous with Einstein. And there's good reason for that. Salesforce has introduced a lot of artificial intelligence related features in a lot of their products. And the word Einstein is thrown around plenty for all of that, and that's all completely true. But what I'm going to be sharing with you today actually has nothing to do with Salesforce, but artificial intelligence related tools are being used in a lot of different industries for a lot of different things, and there are actually many different tools that are out there on the marketplace today that claim to help folks with communication, as in like an artificial intelligence writing assistant. But none of them have I found to be nearly as good as this particular tool called Jasper. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you. I think it is like you're going to see soon. Now, that's one of the reasons why I'm crazy excited for this tool. And I love using it. I get giddy every time I talk about it. And you'll see as I share some of it today with you. But nonetheless, first, let's jump in and start talking a little bit about why communication is so incredibly important for every Salesforce professional. Because, most of us, and many of you have heard me talk about this before, most of us, as we go down this path of building our Salesforce career, we're so focused on certifications and learning Trailhead and learning about new products and new Salesforce features. And we often forget that there are actually a lot of other skills that are critical to master if you really want to take your career to the next level, if you really want to stand out, not only at your place of work, but also within the Salesforce community. And communication skills are certainly one of them. So let's talk about the role of the Salesforce admin. I'm making some generalizations here. For many people, the role in many organizations, the role of the Salesforce admin is one where you are responsible for managing the platform, for actually managing the system itself, the CRM itself. You're also responsible for managing releases, whether they are internally generated releases, internal enhancements, or even external enhancements by Salesforce, like the 3 seasonal releases that happen every year. Or alternatively, if you're using some third-party apps and there are some enhancements associated with those apps, or even you're using like Outlook integrated with Salesforce and there are some updates to Outlook that are going to change the way the team is using Outlook and Salesforce together. You're going to be responsible most of the time for a lot of that, if not all of it, as well as, let's face it, bugs. A lot of times there are bugs within the system. And when I say that, what I mean is a certain unit within the business asks for something to be done in Salesforce. And very often the team who's working on it within the Salesforce platform to introduce these customizations, sometimes they're not tested as thoroughly as they should be. Sometimes The business requirements are not fully baked when we get them, yet we are under a lot of pressure to go ahead and deliver those enhancements without even fully knowing the full extent of whatever it is that the team actually wants from us. So very easily, there could be a lot of bugs that get introduced into the system in these ways. And let's face it, whether we like it or not, a lot of times we're responsible for data imports, we're responsible for integrations, whether they are custom integrations or other integrations that we've introduced through various tools that are happening on the Salesforce platform. And of course, we are responsible for managing various third-party apps that throughout our company, people are using different things that integrate with Salesforce. So as a Salesforce admin, you've got a lot on your plate that you are responsible for. Now, communication, having strong communication skills are really important because that will allow you to establish trust by being transparent and honest. It'll help you communicate the frequent updates that you're working on as it relates to various developments. It will help you to be responsive to the team's questions and concerns. And it will also allow you to provide feedback and input to those that you are interacting with at work. So we might not realize it, but we're leveraging communication skills every single day throughout the day, anytime you are interacting with anyone else, whether it's in person, whether it's an email, whether it's in a Zoom meeting, whatever it is, you're interacting with other folks on a regular basis. So having the appropriate communication skills can absolutely make or break the way your message is received or perceived by other folks that you're interacting with. Let's talk about the impact of having strong communication skills. When you do have strong communication skills, it helps you eliminate confusion and misconceptions. It helps mitigate conflict. It helps increase team engagement. It helps improve productivity among you and the folks that you are working with on any project. It helps improve relationships that you're having with colleagues. It helps increase innovation, and it also enhances your own reputation among your peers. When you are able to clearly communicate with the folks that you're working with, that you understand, you get it, whatever it is that they're working on, you totally get it, their concerns, their problems, their issues, the things that they're asking you for. And you're able to properly reflect that and communicate that back and give them updates on it, explain to them what is possible, what's not possible. It will help you tremendously in all of the ways that are listed right here. Well, let's talk a little bit about the different ways in which we communicate, because we might not necessarily realize it, but we communicate through multiple different channels and different methods throughout the course of the day, some more than others, absolutely. But of course, we've got email. We also have in-person conversations that are happening. And of course, there's some communication happening, whether it's on Teams or Slack or Chatter or WhatsApp or SMS messaging with various colleagues. And we also have remote meetings. Many of us are doing presentations, whether you're doing presentations internally, explaining to the team, like, here's an update on the project that we are working on. Or maybe you're doing a presentation for the Salesforce community, for another Salesforce user group. But we're doing a lot of presentations as well. And more and more folks are actually leveraging recorded videos. So recorded videos are often leveraged by Salesforce admins. The most common way is by having training videos for your team, because as you're releasing new features or onboarding new users, and you're creating a training video in order to teach them, or even you're using it as a Zoom, you're creating a Zoom meeting and you're training them live and you're leveraging the recording of the training video. Or after hours, you're working on an updated enhancement and you want to create a recorded video teaching the folks that you're working with, here's how it works. You know, the new thing that we worked on, here's what's going live on Monday. So you're creating recorded videos in order to capture and share all of that. So there are lots of different ways that we communicate. Each one has its own particular unique pros and cons that we need to consider, absolutely. And at the same time, there are different aspects of the different channels that we communicate on that will make certain style of communication more appropriate or less appropriate depending on the channel that you're communicating on. So I've been talking about Jasper, and I'm going to show you a whole lot real soon. I'm going to go live into Jasper and show you like why I get so giddy about it. Let's talk about how Jasper can help. Well, if you're communicating by email, Jasper can help you craft the body of your email and subject line so that people actually click to open the email to actually read the message in your email, read the body. When you're having an in-person meeting, Jasper can help you write an outline in preparation of the in-person meeting to help you guide yourself of how to navigate the conversation, which topics or subtopics you need to cover when you're having that conversation, even if it's in person. In Slack, Chatter, WhatsApp, Teams, it will help you write the messages, whatever messages it is that you want to share, as well as the calls to action. Maybe the call to action is that you want people to click on a link to watch the video. Maybe the call to action is you want people to participate, to join in the upcoming Zoom meeting where you're going to share with them updates about, maybe it's a training session on how to use the new features. So whatever the call to action might be, Jasper can help you put together the call to action in a way where it really hits home. It resonates with your target audience. For remote meetings, similar to in-person meetings, Jasper can help you write outlines in advance as well as capture the notes or summarize the notes after the fact. So if you want to, provide people with let's say an email or a document afterwards of, by the way, here's a recap of what we discussed in our Zoom meeting earlier today, Jasper can help you put together the notes in a way that is concise, that is compelling, that is direct, and gets your message across with perhaps better words or more creative words than you would have selected yourself. For presentations, it can also help you write outlines, write the content itself, bullet points, for example, as well as the calls to action. And in recorded videos, not only can it write the titles, it can also write the scripts for you and even intros, introducing a particular topic. For those of you who don't know, maybe you haven't necessarily noticed, like when you're on YouTube and watching different content on YouTube, usually it's within the first few seconds that you will decide whether or not you're going to continue watching that video or you're going to skip over to the next thing. And whether we like it or not, our brains have been somewhat Twitterized over the past 10 to 15 years. So we have even less and less of smaller attention span, less patience for waiting for the good stuff. So having a really powerful intro can make all the difference in the world on whether or not people are actually going to continue watching whatever it is that you've got on the recorded video. And Jasper can help with all of that. So let's back it up a little bit. What on earth is Jasper? So Jasper is an artificial intelligence writing assistant. Now, when I say it's a writing assistant, no, it is not perfect, but it is so darn good. Basically, I like to think of Jasper as, and for those of you who know me, whether you know me as like in person, in real life, or simply through the content that I share online, you know that I am rarely at a loss of words. So you might be wondering, why the heck do you need Jasper? I can always find words to articulate whatever it is that I'm looking to share. However, very often I feel like I'm using the same pattern of words or the same phrases over and over again, and I would much rather have a fresh vocabulary, a fresh perspective, a fresh approach. Or maybe I'm just feeling so darn tired that like, oh my God, do I have to explain to someone one more time the reason why having good data quality in Salesforce is so darn important? I'll turn to Jasper on a regular basis to either give me fresh ideas, to give me maybe a slightly different tone to use in the messaging that I want to put out, and it will allow me to do it so darn fast. Now also, as you will see soon, a lot of times Jasper will put out some quote-unquote facts, but those facts are not exactly accurate, or it will come up with some suggestions where it's referencing things that like, what are you, drunk or something? But think of it as a suggestion, a freaking really good suggestion, but a suggestion that you can use to then tweak, fill in the blanks, take out the incorrect facts that Jasper put in, and if you want to look it up and put in the appropriate facts or the appropriate terminology, you could just swap out that particular language from the outputs that Jasper gives you. It also, when you provide the appropriate inputs, so Jasper allows you to put in whatever inputs you need to give it the guidance, just like, I mean, if you had an assistant, another person sitting next to you who is your dedicated writer, if you want that person's help, you need to give that person some context, the inputs on, here's what I need your help writing, here is the target audience, here is the message that I want to get across, here's what I'm looking for, here's what you need to know in order to sit down and put pen to paper or finger to keyboard and start spitting out some words. So you can provide Jasper with all of the appropriate inputs, the guidance, and the context, and it will generate outputs that you can copy and paste onto any platform. It does not matter if it's a presentation or if it's for a Slack message or it's something that you're going to put in the body of an email or maybe even a blog post. Within Jasper, there are a lot of different features where you can leverage essentially templates or recipes in order to create outputs. And you can also use something that in Jasper, it's called boss mode. And I'm going to show all of this to you soon. Boss mode in order to access even more powerful features that are available on the platform. Jasper will also give you plagiarism-free outputs. A lot of people often say like, yeah, I probably could have come up with the same thing if I Googled it. If you Google it, you're going to get content that somebody else created. And if you just copy and paste it, that's plagiarism. You're using somebody else's content. Jasper is giving you plagiarism-free content. And there's a plagiarism checker built into Jasper, which I'm going to show you soon also. And it also includes a Grammarly integration where it's completely embedded within Jasper, where you have Grammarly in there as well, because Jasper might give you some suggestions on here's how to present it to the target audience, but then Grammarly is like, yeah, there's a better way to get that to be even more impactful, which is only available in boss mode, but I'm going to show that to you as well. So here is what we are going to simulate in Jasper. We are going to simulate the following things. A new feature update to new users. So we're going to make believe that like here, you guys are looking over my shoulder. I'm the Salesforce admin and I'm using Jasper, or I'm the Salesforce consultant and I'm using Jasper. And I want to give folks an update on new features, and the target audience are my Salesforce users. We're going to also simulate explaining the importance of data quality to the team. A little bit vague, and we'll see where Jasper takes it. And another thing we're going to simulate is introducing Docusign to business. I just sort of picked Docusign because it was top of mind, because I happen to be working on a pretty intense Docusign, actually a couple of pretty intense Docusign projects right now. So let's make believe, we want to put together some content to our business users, our Salesforce users, introducing Docusign to them. And we're a little bit burnt out. Like, yeah, I can't come up with any creative words to put together this email or presentation or Slack post to the team. So we're going to ask Jasper for some help on that, as well as providing some project updates to senior management. So we're going to make believe that we've got a particular project, and I have some ideas, and I'm just sort of picking some generic kind of Salesforce projects that hopefully all of you can relate to, and we're going to make believe that we just want to give some updates to senior management on here's what has been done and here are some of the next steps, and Jasper will help put together some really nice outputs for us that we can share with senior management on the team. So without further delay, let's go in, and I am now sharing my screen where I am in Jasper. Now, by the way, the entire time you're going to see on the top of the screen, I've got a link over here that I'm sharing with you. If you are interested in starting your own free trial of Jasper, you can feel free to do it using that link. You don't feel compelled to whatsoever. Like I said, I freaking love this tool, whether you decide to use it or not. So basically what you're also going to see down below, I put as a reminder for myself and for you, here are the things that I said we're going to simulate now in Jasper. So first, let me just show you around a little bit so you can get a better understanding of what's going on the screen over here. So basically what we see is we've got the dashboard, which is basically what we're on right now. We have templates. So when I click on templates, we're going to see over here that Jasper has a lot of different templates depending on the context, the type of output that I want. So if you'll recall earlier, I mentioned like a video script outline. I can put together an outline just using this one. I can use, if I want to put together a press release, even if it's just for internal distribution, I can certainly do that as well. If I wanted to, I needed an email subject line or the body of an email, personalized cold emails, I can use that as well. And we've also got these hyperlinks on the top. So if let's say I'm just interested in email related templates, I can just use the icons on the top, or I should say the shortcuts on the top, in order to filter all of the different templates based on what kind of templates Jasper has available. By the way, the ones that you see highlighted in yellow, those are simply the ones that I personally have favorited. So that's why they're sort of like coming up at the top and they're highlighted with this yellow icon. So that's templates. The next thing that we're going to see over here are recipes. So what are recipes? Recipes are essentially, think of it as guided templates that are created either by other people or yourself. So within the Jasper community, there are people who create some really good recipes, and they make them available completely free. So if I click in here under recipes, you're going to see I've got a whole bunch of recipes here, and it's only showing 1 out of 10 on each page. So if I keep clicking over here, you're going to see that I've got different recipes. And if I want to look into any one of them, here you're going to see, for example, what is included in that particular recipe. I'm going to go into a recipe soon. I'll play around in that a little bit soon to show you how powerful these are. And then we have over here documents. And when I click on the plus sign to create a new document, I have the option to either start from scratch or go through a blog post workflow. We're going to get to here soon. I just want to show you, like, here's what's going on within the tool itself. Let's jump into templates. So the first one that we're going to simulate is a new feature update to users. So let's make believe for a minute that we want to, that we've been working on a particular project where we've simplified some of the page layouts. We've removed clutter. So let's make believe it's on the account screen, the contact screen, and the opportunity screen. We've gone through discussing with our business users, what is it that you need? What is it that you don't need? What is clutter and distracting on the screen? We've removed all of the things that they've identified as clutter. We've simplified the screen dramatically. And now we are getting ready to share these updates with the team. We want to get them excited about whatever it is that we just worked on. So let's make believe it's an email that we want to put together. We could play around with a whole bunch of different options over here. So let's go here and first maybe we just want to put together a subject line. Maybe we've already created the body of the email and we just want to put together a subject line. So I'm going to go over here, and this is where on the left-hand side we are giving Jasper the inputs, and then Jasper is going to give us the outputs over here on the right-hand side. So let's say company product name, and you know what, let's call it simplified. It would be nice if I could type simplified screens in Salesforce. Tone of voice, let's say excited. And what is your email about? We've recently cleaned up the contacts, accounts, and opportunity screens in Salesforce to remove the clutter and only show those features and data points that the sales team cares about. Now over here on the bottom, it's basically Jasper is asking me, how many outputs do you want? And the default is 3. And what I'm going to do is let's crank it up to 10. And I'm going to click on this button where it says Generate AI Content. And you're going to see over here on the right-hand side, I've got all these different email subject line suggestions. Clean screens yield clean sales results. Get your clean, simplified Salesforce screens today. Simplified screens equals more sales. Salesforce just got a lot more simple. Is that even English? I would say a lot simpler. Oh, that's what we have down below. Get more out of your Salesforce screen. That's just by hitting that button once. So let's make believe for a minute that I like one of these. All I have to do, well, first of all, I can simply star one of them to put it as a favorite, which then means later on over here on the left-hand side, I can find all of my favorites. If let's say I like this one, I can hit copy to clipboard, and then I can open another window where I'm crafting my email, and I can simply paste it into the body of the email. So as you can see over here, now by the way, you see over here, excited, I can use outputs like witty, and I can just leave everything else the same. Put in witty and clean sweep simplified screens in Salesforce. Salesforce tidied up. What's new? Salesforce tidying service. Did you hear? We cleaned up the Salesforce screens. So I can leave everything else the same and simply put, for tone of voice, I can put anything. I can put professional, educational, optimistic, sad, frustrated, annoyed. I can even put celebrities, like people that have a lot of content that's available online. Jasper will automatically pull their tone of voice and incorporate that into the type of content that it's going to put out for me. Anyway, so here we've got the subject lines. Now let's make believe that we actually want the body of the email. So for the body of the email, I can go here and I can choose for email. I can choose over here maybe persuasive bullet points or personalized cold emails. I can also choose content improver. Content improver is a little bit more generalized. So actually what I'll do to save a little bit of time, I'm going to go back in here and I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to use that as the same input that I'm giving over here. We've recently cleaned up the contacts. By the way, this is what you're seeing over here. This is Grammarly that I have in the browser. This is not the baked-in Grammarly. I'm going to show you that soon. That Jasper has, where it is incorporated. So this is separate coming from my Chrome browser. Now, we've recently cleaned up the contacts accounts and opportunity screens in Salesforce to remove the clutter and only those features and left. And I forgot some of my words over here. Left only those, and yeah, it's showing me that my English isn't exactly on par, which is part of the beauty of Jasper, by the way, where even though I had like a little bit nonsensical language in here, Jasper still gave some pretty good outputs for the email subject line. And let's say over here, this time I'm going to use, instead of professional, you know what? I'm going to put optimistic. And over here, instead of 3, let's crank it up to 10 one more time and generate some outputs. After a recent cleanup, we've removed all of the clutter on your contacts and account screens to make it easier for you. We left only those features that are important in Salesforce, such as leads or opportunities. No, those are, well, so this is the part where I would simply go in here and clean up over here and put in things like industry, phone number, size of the company. I would make it a little bit more real because Jasper didn't know what it's talking about over there. These changes will ensure that the data is easy to understand and navigate. We've recently cleaned up the contacts, accounts, and opportunity screens in Salesforce so you can focus on what matters most, finding new customers. With recent changes to the Salesforce interface, your team can now focus on what's most important. The contacts, accounts, and opportunity screens have been cleaned up so that all you see are features relevant for sales professionals like yourself. This is pretty darn good. Now let's go and let's grab this, and we're going to pop that into another template, which is personalized cold emails, and we're going to paste that right here. And your company, let's just say Salesforce. The context to include in your email, help the sales team to be more productive. And tone of voice, let's say casual this time. And again, I'm going to crank this up from 3 to 10. And let's see what it gives me. Hi, first name. I hope you're doing well. We've been working hard on some new updates in Salesforce that we think will make your life a lot easier. We just released a new update to the contacts, accounts, and opportunity screens, which cleans up the clutter and only leaves those features and data points that the sales team cares about. This makes it a lot easier for you to find what you need quickly and be more productive. Would you like me to show you how these changes work? I can do a quick demo over the phone or in person if you're interested. Let me know if that sounds good to you. That is freaking really good. And that's just the first one. Now, of course, I would tweak it. And maybe instead of hi first name, I would just have this go out to everyone. So maybe I would say, hey, sales team. And maybe I would just cut and paste this, tweak the output a little bit. The call to action. Maybe instead of encouraging them, do I really want 30 people or 400 people messaging me saying, yeah, show me, do a personal demo for me? No, maybe the output over here, in the end, the call to action is going to be something like, click here to join, or would you like to be invited to the Zoom meeting that I'm hosting on Monday where I'm going to walk everyone through it. So this is really good right there. And I can keep going through some of these others, but I'm not going to in the effort of saving some time. But I just want to show you there's a lot of different outputs that we can play around with over here. Anyway, so that was the first one, which is new feature updates. And we want to put together some content to show folks how, or give them an update to get them excited about here's the thing that we've worked on for you. The next one I'm going to do is explain the importance of data quality to the team. And let's do that through bullet points. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to choose persuasive bullet points. Maybe I want to incorporate this into a presentation. Maybe I just want to put together a brief email. And the main thing that I'm looking for is I need the bullet points to really get their attention and hone in how critically important it is to keep the data quality clean, because everyone on the team is complaining to me that no matter what list views and reports they look at, all the data is garbage and the metrics are all off. And hello, garbage in, garbage out. We all know that, but we need to sort of get that message across to the team, and we want to sound professional and we want to sound optimistic and we don't want to sound condescending when we're doing that. So over here, company product name, we'll just put Salesforce for now. So product description, even though it says product description, we're not really describing a product. I want to convey to my colleagues, the importance of keeping their data quality clean in Salesforce. The sales team is constantly putting in garbage, let's not say garbage, putting in half-baked and incorrect or outdated data, yet they somehow expect the data in Salesforce to be automatically cleaned and updated. I want them to understand that whatever data they enter in will impact the quality of our reports and dashboards throughout the team. And I'm purposely being a little bit vague over here. That's not the most perfect. I'm purposely doing that in order for you to see the kind of output that that Jasper is going to give us. So for the tone of voice over here, let's just say professional for now. And whoops, typo. And let's go here, generate AI content, and let's see what we've got. Keep your data clean for better, more accurate reports. Avoid wasting time trying to clean up messy data. Make sure that your sales team is working with the most accurate information possible. Improve productivity and accuracy across your entire sales team. Poor data quality can have a significant impact on the success of your sales team and business as a whole. Salesforce is designed to help you maintain clean, accurate data. And ensuring good data hygiene in Salesforce is critical for accurate reporting and analytics. So you can see over here, we've got a lot to play around with Salesforce is only as effective as your data quality. We've got a lot of options to play around with over here to cut and paste. You can even combine a bunch of these various options in order to put together whatever email, whatever presentation it is that you are working on. So that is basically showing the second option that we have down, the second simulation that we have down below, which is explaining the importance of data quality to the team. Next, we're going to introduce Docusign to business users. And for that, we're going to simulate using the blog post wizard. So if I go over here to documents and I go here, blog post workflow, basically what you're going to see is that I need to answer some of these questions. I need to answer some of these questions in this wizard so that Jasper knows what to give me. So over here it says describe the content you want to create. I want to introduce, I want to give an update to my colleagues in sales, letting them know that we will be rolling out Docusign embedded within Salesforce to allow them to quickly put together proposals and send them out to customers for digital signature. And this will help us easily track the status of when proposals have been signed seamlessly from within Salesforce. For keywords here, you can see it's optional. If I was focused on actually writing a blog post, I'm utilizing the blog post wizard, but I'm not actually writing a blog post. I don't really care about the keywords. If I was in fact writing a blog post, then I would go ahead and I would put in whatever particular keywords I want to make sure that Jasper is utilizing throughout the content that it's going to put out. So I don't care about that right now. I'm going to just skip it. Now over here, it's asking me for a title. If I was creating a blog post, a title would be critical. Because I'm in this wizard, I really can't go to the next step without it. But you know what? I could use whatever Jasper gives me as a title as the subject line of the email that I'm going to send out, or the name of the presentation that I'm putting together in order to get my team really excited about all of this. So, or maybe it's even the name of the meeting that I'm inviting everyone to, where I'm simply going to be explaining to them all of the benefits of using Docusign once this project goes live. So I'm going to go over here and so basically Jasper is asking me, do you have a title for this blog article or don't you? And I'm like, yeah, I don't. That's why I'm here. I'm at a loss of words. So I'm going to click generate ideas. And as soon as I do that, we're going to see that I've got a whole bunch of options over here. Some of them are a little bit repeated, which is sort of annoying, but I can keep clicking generate more ideas and you're going to see, it's really odd, by the way, that there's a lot of repeats over here. So it does happen, but it does not happen often. So let's go here and let's choose any one of these. Delivering proposals for digital you know what? This is good. Why not? And over here for intro paragraph, Jasper is asking me, do you have an intro paragraph? No, I don't. That's why I'm using Jasper right now. So I'm going to click generate ideas, and you're going to see that very quickly I'm going to have these outputs, 3 outputs right here. Hello, colleagues in sales. I'm excited to let you know that we'll be rolling out Docusign embedded within Salesforce very soon. This will allow you to quickly put together proposals and send them out to customers for digital signature. This will help us easily track. So it's taking a lot of the inputs that I put up above, at least for that one. Hello, sales colleagues. I wanted to give you an update on a new feature we'll be rolling out shortly, Docusign embedded within Salesforce. This will help you quickly put together proposals and send them out to customers for digital signature. Let's look at the next one. I wanted to give you an update. This is actually also very, very similar. So you know what, I'll just click on any one of these and take it to the next step. And now I'm going to click Open Editor. And now when you see this, I think of this as sort of like a Google Doc, but it's not really a Google Doc because you have Jasper here. This is in boss mode. And by the way, what you see over here on the upper right-hand side, this is where Grammarly is embedded within it, as well as a plagiarism checker. So I'm going to go in here, and now I'm going to just go to the next line, and I'm going to do this. Watch this. You can do this in boss mode. Give instructions. Write several compelling bullet points highlighting the benefits and features that our sales team will enjoy once Docusign is available. And I just hit Command and Enter on my keyboard, and it automatically put these together. It based on the inputs that I provided earlier, which are, by the way, over here, and the title that I selected is over here. And I did not put a tone, but I can. So if I want to have something like optimistic, and if I wanted to I wanted to get some other content over here, so watch this. Write an intro paragraph, explaining the efficiencies that the team will enjoy once Docusign goes live. So here you can see it's using some additional outputs. And you see over here, it sort of stopped mid-sentence. Stay tuned for more information on this. So I can either stop, and put a period right there. Maybe I want to continue writing over here, and I'm going to start a sentence and I will stop mid-sentence. Let's do, watch this. Although we're initially rolling this out just for proposals, comma, in the future, we might want to consider, and I'm just going to stop here. Now I'm going to go on the lower left-hand side where I have that compose button, and I'm just going to hit the compose button. I think it just repeated over here the bullet points, it just repeated. But you saw it finish the sentence over here. We might want to consider, this is the embedded Grammarly, consider using Docusign for other types of documents as well. Stay tuned for more updates. Thanks for reading. So we can continue using Jasper to put together more and more outputs on this particular topic. Now watch this. I'm going to go here and I'm going to delete all of this, and let's make believe I am preparing for a meeting on this particular topic, and I want Jasper to help me put together an outline. So I can either go here and put in a command like write an outline for the sales team, explaining to them how Docusign will help them in the future. And I can just, again, put my keyboard commands, and it's putting together an outline right there. Alternatively, I can go into what's called power mode over here. And with power mode, I have access to all of the templates that we were looking at before, right over here. And we can see that I could also use a blog post outline template right there. And I can go here and I can say something like, upcoming rollout of Docusign for the sales team. Tone of voice, let's say professional for now. And instead of 3, let's crank this up to 10. And what we're going to see over here is I've got all of these suggestions on outlines. So this, when I mentioned earlier about using Jasper to put together an outline in advance of a meeting, so I can use this as the framework to guide the agenda of the meeting, or a presentation, or a video, teaching them to help me put my content together in a way that's easy for folks to digest. Let's make believe for a minute that now I'm actually putting together a video, a walkthrough video, showing folks how Docusign works. So I'm going to go over here on the left-hand side, and I'm going to choose this template, which is video script, hook and introduction. How to use Docusign in Salesforce to generate proposals. And tone of voice, let's just keep it as professional. And I'll leave it as 3 for now. I'm just going to click Generate AI Content. And watch this, these are scripts. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Docusign in Salesforce to generate proposals. Hi, my name is, fill in the blank, and I'm a not sales representative, it's going to be, I'm the Salesforce admin at blah, blah, blah. We're going to be using Salesforce as our CRM and Docusign as our e-signature tool. What that means is that we can create proposals very quickly and easily and get them signed without having to print anything out or worrying about getting a physical signature. That was just the first one. Is this not crazy cool stuff? I love this. All right, let's move on to the next one. The last one that I have is, I want to be sensitive to the time because, by the way, I can stay here for hours just showing you all the different really cool ways that you can use this. So now we're talking about, I'm going to walk you through like a project update for senior management. And in order to do that, basically, I'm going to simulate now going directly into boss mode from scratch. So I went into document and now I'm just starting at a blank screen. So let's make believe that this particular project that I need to give an update to senior management on, it's a project where maybe we are first introducing Salesforce to the customer support team. Today, the customer support team is not using Salesforce, they're using Excel, maybe some folks are using Jira, maybe some folks are using Zendesk, they're using a variety of tools, and we've started the business requirements gathering, and we're making our way through this particular project, and I want to give them an update on what's going on. So over here, I'm going to start writing. Let's call this project name, Salesforce rollout for customer service. In this project, let's back it up. Today, the customer support team is using a variety of tools like Excel and Jira and Zendesk to manage customer support tickets. This is confusing and overwhelming and makes it nearly impossible to pull metrics for the customer support team. We are starting our Salesforce project to get all of these people onto Salesforce. We've started business requirements gathering, and will continue working with various stakeholders on the customer support team before we can start doing our database architecture design. We hope to complete business requirements gathering by the end of next week. Okay, so now that I gave some inputs, I'm going to give some instructions to Jasper on what it is that I want. So I'm going to just put this command and I'm going to enter in, write an email for senior management, providing them with an update on the project described above. And now I'm just going to do command and enter. Hi, senior management. I wanted to give you a quick update on the Salesforce rollout for customer service. We've started business requirements gathering and will continue working with various stakeholders on the customer on the customer support team before we can start doing our database architecture design. We hope to complete business requirements gathering by the end of the next week. By the way, that was so much better. I feel like what I put in here was sort of rambling, which is exactly the point of why I love Jasper so much. This is sort of rambling, and this is far more concise than I would have done on my own, which is one of the reasons why I love this so much. Now watch this. I'm going to go here and I'm going to put in write a call to action encouraging senior management to reach out to me if they have any questions. I don't really like that, so I'm going to do it again. I'm just doing Control Z on my keyboard to undo. Actually, this is really good because I'm realizing these are, before I wrap up, or if you want to know anything else, maybe I'm sort of like prompting them, but are you curious about any of these other things before I go rambling on and on, giving more details about stuff? Do you want to know anything else about this particular project? And then I can just wrap it up saying, okay, reach out to me if you want to know anything more about any of these particular topics. So anyway, so that is just a quick overview of the different ways that I use Jasper on a regular basis. And without further delay, let's jump in and take a look at any of the questions or anything else that you guys might have put in. So let's take a look. Where is my window with all of the comments over here? All right, let's see what we've got here. My windows are a little bit all over the place today. Comments. What if the email body has screen capture of Salesforce? What if the email body has screen capture? Oh, you can always include as you're cutting and pasting any of the content that you get from, as you have any output from Jasper, you can always copy and paste it into an email and then also include a screenshot basically saying see below, where you can see, like the updated simplified screen that we have in Salesforce. So you can absolutely do that for sure. Tony commented over here. By the way, Tony, good to see you. Tony and I met in person last week at the Salesforce World Tour in New York City. Tony is basically saying that he uses recorded videos, and it's a great way to communicate asynchronously. I could not agree more. So incredibly helpful. Anyway, I don't see any other questions that have come in, so I'm not going to keep you guys any longer than needed. If you do want to reach out to me about anything associated to either Salesforce or leveraging Jasper as an artificial intelligence writing assistant, drop me a note, whether it's a comment over here, down below, or most of you know how to reach me because you're on my email address. And otherwise, I will talk to you all soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.